Hi everybody, so tonight we've got a recipe from our Simply Cook box. This is our second box and we're trying Louisiana Linguine, which is a savoury, mildly hot and creamy sauce coats the linguine, which is topped with a charred chicken marinated in spices often used in the deep south of the USA. A squeeze of lemon lifts all the flavours, ensuring a comforting but exciting plate of food. This is equally good with prawns instead of chicken if you prefer. So there's our list of ingredients and instructions, and the little pots in this one are southern spice mix, a white wine reduction and a garlic chicken stock. You then need some chicken, which you can slice up a couple of large chicken breasts, but I just bought a pack of the mini fillets to have the slicing part all done for me. You need a red onion, a couple of peppers, I've got red and green. You want some baby plum tomatoes or cherry tomatoes, so small tomatoes that you'll cut in half. You want linguine, which is a bit like spaghetti. If you haven't had linguine, it's quite common in the States, but sometimes can be a bit hard to find here. So it is like spaghetti, but you can see it's sort of flat, almost like ribbons of pasta rather than the tubes that you get with spaghetti. You also want some spring onions and some parmesan, some creme fraiche, and I'm using the lighter version, and some olive oil. So the first thing I need to do is put the chicken in a bowl with about 3/4 of the spice mix and just let that sit while I get the pasta cooking. And then the chicken goes into the pan, cook it, they suggest in batches. I think my pan's big enough to put them all in at once. I let them cook on each side until golden brown. So I'll get that part done, get my vegetables chopped up, get the pasta cooking, and then come back and see how it's going. So you can see the chicken is sizzling away there. This is the second batch. I just split them into 2 batches to give them plenty of room in the pan. You want them to get a nice crispy kind of a really good colour to them. So the seasoning is sort of occasionally, it's not particularly spicy. It's got a little hint to it, but it's not spicy, I wouldn't call it. But it is sort of Cajun style seasoning, definitely. So that is the chicken, that is nearly done. I've got the linguine bubbling away in here, and when that is cooked I'm just going to use my little mug there to scoop out just a couple of tablespoons worth of the pasta water, which will go into the sauce. So once that the last batch of chicken is finished, I'm going to add a little bit more oil to the pan, and then I'm going to add the peppers and onions and let them cook away for probably 4 or 5 minutes until they start to colour and get nice and soft. Then I will add in some halved of the baby plum tomatoes along with the rest of the southern spice mix. So I used most of this on the chicken, but there's a little bit left, about 1/4 of the pot left, and that will go in with the vegetables. So that's the next step. So as that gets going, I'll come back and show you. Okay, so in there I've got the peppers and onions, which I just cooked for about 5 minutes to soften up, and then I've added some halved baby plum tomatoes. I don't know, probably about 8 of them, something like that, and the rest of the pot of the spice mix. And the colours and actually the smell of this are really good. So just a couple minutes with the tomatoes in, I don't want them to go mushy. And then I'll transfer this. I've got the chicken just in a bowl keeping warm in the oven at the moment, and so I will just transfer these veggies all into the same bowl as the chicken. And then I'm going to put 150 ml of water, so just plain water, into the pan to just kind of scrape up all the bits on the bottom, and then add the white wine reduction and just let that melt into the water, and combine that all together. And then I'm going to add the garlic chicken stock and bring that up to a boil. So I'm going to get that going. The linguine is now cooked, so we're getting close. This is another quite quick and simple dish. So let me get the sauce part going and I'll come back and show you how that looks. Okay, so in the pan there I've got the 150 ml of water, which I just put the white wine reduction into, and that was just, it looked a bit like a stock pot consistency, just a little bit thick kind of paste. Stirred that through, and then I added the chicken and garlic chicken stock pot. Now that was quite grainy. I don't know if you can see in there, just like little pieces, like granules in it. I think you can see on the spoon there. So I'm hoping that disappears as this finishes cooking. I've let it bubble away for a couple of minutes there, and it's still, I can still see, I don't know if you can see in there, I don't know if I can get that with the steam coming off of it, but there's quite a lot of grains in there, which doesn't look right to me, but I don't know, we'll see. The flavour's obviously gone in because the water has turned a delicious golden gravy colour, or a deep gravy colour. But the next step is now to add in 200 ml of creme fraiche. I've got low fat creme fraiche, you could use full fat, and work that through and let it cook for a couple of minutes just to let the creme fraiche start to thicken up a little bit. So I'm going to combine those and I'll come back and show you what it looks like, and hopefully this graininess disappears. Okay, so now it's come together, I see what the difference is. So the wine reduction was definitely the stock pot, and the thing that was called the garlic and chicken chicken stock pot was more like a little crumbly block of herbs and spices. So as it's melted down into the sauce, you can see you've got flecks of the pepper and some of the herbs in there as well. So that is what it was. It wasn't granules, it was just flakes of the seasoning. So next step now, nearly at the end, is to add the chicken and peppers and onions and tomatoes back in, and then stir through the linguine and add in that little bit of pasta water that's sitting in my pot, in my little cup over there, just to loosen it up a bit when I add the pasta in. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and show you how it all looks when it's put together. And so there is our finished Louisiana, what was it called? Louisiana chicken pasta? Louisiana linguine? Louisiana linguine? Yeah, I think that's what it was called. Looks absolutely tasty. It's got lots of veggies through it. Got the pasta and that lovely creamy sauce, and then the chicken's been seasoned and coated in that Cajun style seasoning. I've just had a little taste. It does have a little kick to it, but it's not spicy. I would definitely not say it's spicy. And I think on the recipe card it just has kind of 1 chili, and it goes up to 4, I think. So it just has 1 chili on it. So it's got a little hint, but it's not overpowering in any way, shape or form. And you could actually, if you like spicy food, you could either add some additional cayenne or Cajun seasoning to the mix when you're doing the chicken, or you could put some hot sauce over it. I'm going to just serve this with a sprinkling of Parmesan on the top. I think pasta has to have cheese with it, even if it is Louisiana pasta. So I'm just going to put a little sprinkling of Parmesan over the top. But really simple, about half an hour, start to finish on this one. Just a few ingredients. Again, things that you're likely to either have or be able to easily find. The chicken mini fillets, peppers, onions, tomatoes, some creme fraiche, and a little sprinkle of cheese for the top. So all things that you're either likely to have in your fridge or pantry, or easily be able to get at the grocery store. And that's what I think I quite like about these boxes. It's not loads of ingredients that you wouldn't find, or it's tough to find, or that you wouldn't perhaps normally buy. It's things that you would buy anyway. So yep, this one looks like it's going to be tasty, but we'll come back and let you know the verdict when we've had it. Hi everybody, so we've just finished eating our Louisiana linguine, and for me this was the best one we've had from Simply Cook recipes so far. It was really tasty, the flavours were just right, the chicken was great, the vegetables were good, and the sauce was good. It coated the pasta well, and it was quite creamy but had a little spice kick to it. Tony?
It was excellent.
Yeah. Oh, was it your favourite so far?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely was my favourite. I will definitely have this one in a future box. So this one gets a big thumbs up from us. I would say for me that's probably about a 9 out of 10 for a meal.
Definitely.
And definitely one we will add to the box next time we get a box in the future. So if you're thinking about trying this, you like a little bit of spice, you like pasta, definitely try this one, as it was excellent.